Hi everyone, welcome to the world of engineering design. This is Ramakant Sharma here. I'll be the host for this personality development program today. Now, let's move into the current market situation. You might have an idea about all those parameters which I am going to explain. Let's get into it one by one. Poor education quality, lack of practical knowledge, lack of teaching qualities of educator, lack of discipline, lack of job availabilities, and environmental effect. As we know that we can't change all those things, but we can learn an effective way that can change your future. Now let's move into those things which can put 4-star into your career. Communication skills, dressing attire, body language, public speaking, confidence building, presentation skills, resume building, goal setting, time management, and leadership. After hearing all this, maybe a question has come into your mind that why do I need to learn all this? So let's move further with the advantages of all discussed parameters. You can easily get hired, to get relevant pay as designation, successful client meeting, preventing and resolving problems, create better relationship, career advancement, boost confidence, improve communication skills, expand your professional network, first impression count, promote self-respect, boost self-confidence, it draws the right kind of attention, improve productivity, promotes team building, proving clarity and directions, flexibility, consistency, versatility, give you a control of your future, provide motivation, give you a sense of a personal satisfaction, give you a sense of purpose in life, promotions. So now let's study those things in brief. So let's get started. Let's start with our first topic, communication skills. Now we will see what is communication. The imparting or exchanging of information by speaking, writing, or using some other medium is known as communication. Let's see how communication is a series of experience of hearing, smell, touch, seeing, taste. For better understanding, you can say involvement of those things can help more to communicate and make your communication more effective. Let's move towards communication goals. To get and give information, to change behavior, to get action, and to ensure the understanding. And now we will see the most common ways to communicate. You can see on the screen body language, speaking, writing, and visual image. These are the most common ways we use to communicate. Further, we'll be discussing about the types of communication skills. Here you can see on the screen, on the basis of organization relationship, there are two types in it. First one is formal and another one is informal. On the basis of flow, here we have 4 types in it: vertical, crosswise, diagonal, and horizontal. On the basis of expression, here we have 3 types in it: oral, written, and gesture. Let's understand those 3 things involved in effective communication skills one by one. First one is effective verbal messages. It should be in brief, succinct, and organized. It should be free of jargon. It shouldn't create resistance in the listener. Now we'll understand second thing involved in effective communication skills, which is paraverbal messages. What is paraverbal messages? You can see on the screen, paraverbal communication refers to the messages that we transmit through the tone, pitch, and pacing of your voice. I'll be giving you the example for the better understanding. Let's see on the screen. We have studied previously what is paraverbal message, what is the things included with it. The thing, how we say the words. Paraverbal messages means how we say the words. You can see on the screen with the example, say, you, stupid. So these are the things that paraverbal messages means how you are using the words while communicating with peoples. Now let's understand third thing involved in effective communication skills, non-verbal messages. What do you mean by non-verbal messages? Let's understand. Non-verbal messages are the primary way that we communicate emotions. Let's understand non-verbal communication with an example. You can see on the screen two figures are there. First one is facial expressions. Another one is posture and gestures. Facial expressions, body postures and gestures can also communicate with peoples. Now let's understand what makes a good communicator. We can see with the example. You can see on the screen. First is clarity. Let's understand what is clarity. The quality of being clear and easy to understand. Your voice should be clear during communication. Understand? Let's move further with our second point, adequacy. What is adequacy? The quality or state of being adequate. Limitation should be there in your communication. Third is integrity. What is integrity? Let's understand the quality of being honest and having strong moral principle. You have to understand integrity also during communication. And fourth one is timing is also very important. You have to understand what are the things to say during communication and what should be their timing. Let me give you few tips to make your communication skills good. Let's start with our first point. Maintain eye contact with the audience. Second point, body awareness. Third point, gesture and expressions. Fourth point, convey one's thoughts. Fifth point, practice effective communication skills. These are the 5 tips to make your communication skills good. So make a note of it. I hope that you have clear with all the covered topics in communication skills session. Now we are moving forward with our next topic of personality development program, body language. Let your body talk on your behalf. Let's understand what is body language. Body language is non-verbal communication that involves body. Gesturing can also be termed as body language, which is absolutely non-verbal means of communication. Let's see the types of body language we have: eye contact, facial expressions, gestures, postures and stands, and space relationship. These 5 types of body languages uses to communicate with others non-verbally. Let's talk about eye contact first. Eye contact has very much in face-to-face communication. Absence of eye contact shows lack of interest and understanding. We look faster than listen or talk, and it builds the rapport between the speaker and the listener. Further, we'll talk about facial expression. All facial organs on human face indicates facially expressive message. These are hair, forehead, eyebrow, eyes, mouth, chin, nose, lips, ear, teeth, tongue, etc. Facial expressions comes naturally, hence it is beyond the control of speaker. Further, let's talk about gestures. It is an expressive movements of a part of a body, especially hands or heads. It has vital effect or part in oral communication. Gesture of a person convey much more than what he speaks. Let's move further and understand the examples of body gestures in brief. Here you can see on the screen waving of hand to indicate goodbye or draw the attention of a person. Shaking hand display the friendship. You can see on the screen. Shrugging of shoulders indicates indifference and unconcern. Pointing index finger indicates allegation or charge. Thumbs up sign indicates wishing good luck. Let's talk about facial expression gestures. A smile expresses friendliness and affection. Raised eyebrows convey surprise. Furrowed forehead expresses worries and anxiety. Frown shows dislike or suspicion. Let's talk about voice modulation. The speaker must use his voice effectively. Someone wants to become an effective speaker, a good is must. Arms crossed in front of the chest. This is one of the body language examples that indicates that one is being defensive. The body language meaning of crossed arm may also shows disagreement with opinion and action of other people with whom you are communicating. Biting of nails. Nail biting demonstrates nervousness, stress, insecurity. Many people bite nails without realizing they have the habit. Finger tapping or drumming. This action demonstrates that one is growing tired or impatient while waiting. Hands on cheek. These body language examples indicates that one is lost in thought may be considering something. When your hand is on your cheek and your brows are furrowed, you may be in deep concern. Rubbing of the hands. This may show that the hands are cold, which may mean that one is excited about something or waiting eagerly. Placing fingertips together. This is called stippling or placing fingertips together to demonstrate control or authority. Open palms facing upward. This gesture is a sign of honesty, submission and innocence. This is how some people show submission and respect. Locking of ankles. Whenever you are sitting or standing, when your ankles are locked, you are communicating apprehensive or nervousness. Palm in palm shows authority. Hand gripping wrist shows frustration. Let's understand the body language of postures. Means an attitude or position of body. Each movement of body has expressive and defensive functions. The way in which we sit or stand, walk in, walk out tells a lot about us. A good posture indicates confident attitude. Let's go ahead with body posture and stance. Let's see the figure on screen and find out the best body posture for you. Now we'll talk about dress and appearance. The kind of dress we use and the way in which we groom ourselves shows our status and attitude. We influenced how others look and clothes they wear. Physical attractiveness plays an important role in our assessment of people. Person's dress and physical appearance conveys great deal of information about him. Further, let's understand what is space relationship. Keep an open space before your upper torso. Example, don't fold your arms, hug your bag or put things on your lap. Do you think that face can speak? Yes, it can. Check out the expressions on screen that can show you how faces speaks. Now you might be clearly understand after seeing those reactions that how faces speaks. Happiness, surprise, displeasure, anger, fear, interest and disgust. Let's understand body gestures examples. Shoulder shrug, I don't know. Puffed chest, pride or achievement. Sucked stomach, I am not as fat as I look. Finger crossing, protection. Rubbing palm together, expectation. And thumb upping, approval. Now, I'm gonna share you some important parameter which will help you to be attractive. Eye contact, facial expression, head movements, body gestures, postures, proximity, body contact, appearance and physique, timing and synchronization. Start working today on those parameters you are seeing on the screen. These all parameters should be in you. Now we'll talk about the method to read body language. We are having 10 points in it. Let's understand those 10 points one by one. First, raised eyebrows often signal discomfort. Second, if their voice goes up or down, they are most likely interested. Third point, eye contact shows interest, both positive or negative. Fourth, but if they look into your eyes for too long, they might be lying. Fifth point, crossed legs are usually a sign of resistance and low receptivity. Sixth point, if they mirror your body language, the conversation is probably going well. Seventh point, look for a lack of crinkles around the eyes to detect a fake smile. Eighth point, if they are laughing with you, they are probably into you. Ninth point, expensive authoritative posture shows leadership. And 10th point, a shaking leg signals a shaky inner state. So you might have understand all those points we have given here to read the body language. Let's understand how we keep our body language receiver friendly. As you can see on the screen, here we are having 3 categories in it. First, friendly positive body language. Second, body language. Third, non-friendly negative body language. So now let's move into the body language column and understand those 5 body language expressions with their positive and negative receiver friendly body language one by one. So let's start with our first body language expression, facial. To achieve positive body language goal, you will have to work on those 4 parameters: smiling, relaxed mouth, alert and ready to listen. Now we'll discuss about non-friendly negative body language in facial expressions. Tight-lipped, grim smile, raised eyebrows and jaw muscles clenched. Let's move further with our second body language expression, eyes. To achieve positive body language goal, you will have to work on those 3 parameters: pupils detailed, good contact and wide open. Now we'll discuss about non-friendly negative body language in eye expressions. looking down nose, lack of contact and narrowed. Let's moving further with our third body language expression, head. To achieve positive body language goal, you will have to work on those two parameters, straight and mildly nodding. Now we'll discuss about non-friendly negative body language in head expression, bored and shaking. Let's moving further with our fourth body language expression, body position. To achieve positive body language goal, you will have to work on those three parameters, open, erect and leaning forward. Now we'll discuss about non-friendly negative body language in body position, crossed arms, legs crossed away and cold shoulders. Let's moving further with our fifth point and last point of body expressions, hand gestures. To achieve positive body language goal, you will have to work on those three parameters, open hands, touching and hand to chest. Now we'll discuss about non-friendly negative body language in hand gesture expressions, tapping fingers, closed hand and finger wagging. Now we'll see 10 tips to improve our body language. First point is smile. Second point, keep an open space before your upper torso. Example, don't fold your arm, hug your bag or put things on your lap. Third point, have eye contact. It is important to establish connection. Fourth point, be comfortable in your space. Don't fidget, don't scream or don't lose yourself in your body. Fifth point, for ladies, when resting on your hand, keep the inside of your hand faced outwards. This makes you appear more open. Sixth point, minimize movements that distracts. Don't finger drum, nail bite, skin peel or scrap pick. Seventh point, slow down your pace. For faster talkers, move slowly if you have to adjust your position. Eighth point, be inclusive in your action. Example, reduce the physical distance between you and the person, smile, maintain your eye contact and make occasional gestures towards the other person. Ninth point, be open with your emotions. If you are sad, happy or surprised, show that on your face. 10th point, piece yourself too much the other person. At the end of the day, everyone is different. Assess each person individually and adopt the body language that will help you best connect with him or her. I hope that you have clear with all the covered topics in personality development program session. Now we are moving forward with our next topic of personality development program, resume building techniques. You never get a chance to create first impression. Your resume is one of your first impression with a potential employer. Now let's talk about the types of resumes. There are two main types of resumes. First one is chronological and another one is functional. Let's talk about chronological first. A chronological resume includes a summary statement and then jumps right into the person's professional career, and jobs are listed in reserve chronological order. This means the most recent job is listed first. Now let's move further with functional resume. Let's see what is functional resume. A functional resume focuses on your skills and experience rather than on your chronological work history. It is typically used by job seekers who are changing careers, who have gap in their employment history, or whose work history is not directly related to the job. Further, let's have a look of sample format of chronological and functional resumes. Check out on screen. These are the kind of sample format of chronological and functional resume we use to build at a different environment. So now go through with two different types of resume using their sample format and their statement. Now we'll see how your resume should be like. A short account 1 to 2 page of your experience, qualification and achievements. Its goal is to capture the reader's interest. Most resume only get 20 to 30 seconds scanned by the reader, and it must have enough impact to grab the attention of the prospective employer. Now let's understand the difference between resumes and CVs. The resume is commonly read in 30 seconds. CV is a comprehensive biographical statement, typically 3 to 8 pages, emphasizing professional qualification and activities. Resume's aim is to attract attention, create interest and provoke action in an interview. CV is a common format used by anyone working in an environment such as higher ED, think tanks, science and select research and development group. Resume utilizes either a chronological format, information presented in reverse chronological order. CV begins with your contact information. Resumes target your skills and strength to match the position you are applying for. CVs target your skills and strength to match the position and organization. Now we'll move further with what employer wants to know. What can you do for me? How can you improve my operations? Can you make me money? Save my time? And keep my customer happy? Your resume must not only show the skills you have, it must demonstrate your success. Now let's move further and discuss about interview preparations. Now we'll understand first what is interview. A meeting of minimum 2 expert candidate arranged to examine the suitability of candidate and tested for subject knowledge, skills and desired behavior in a very limited time. Let's understand the types of interview. First one is panel interview and another one is face-to-face interview. What is panel interview? 3 or more experts sit across the table from the candidate. What is face-to-face interview? 1 interviewer, 1 candidate. Now let's move further and discuss about those things which will make a good interview. Your objective should be clear. You should have well researched and well prepared, develop logically, keep the audience involved and appear spontaneous, fresh, energetic and interesting. So do remember all those 5 points to make your interview so good. Let's talk about first and important tips from the toolbox. Be prepared, have the documentation ready. Use the minimum analysis. I can do it, trust yourself. And listen, do prepare all those 4 points before going for an interview. Let's talk about interview preparation strategy. What is the objective of the interview? How to reach the goal? What's your route and your starting point? It's difficult to look for something if you don't know what you are looking for. And where should I make the interview and under which circumstances? Let's understand what you should do prior to interview. Read your CV, resume and skills demanded. Know the company. Go to the company's website. Check their annual reports. Read out business, newspaper, magazines, or you can directly contact the employee. Understand the parameter to know the company. Is this the company belongs from production and services? What are their annual sales, profit and dividend? Who are their competitors? What are their area of operations? And have they been launched any new product and services? Let's understand what employer evaluate during an interview. Self-confidence, interpersonal skills, be honest. Let's talk about self-confidence. You should be confident while appearing for interview. Let's talk about interpersonal skills. Fluency in English, listen attentively and answer to the question asked by the interviewer. And be honest. While answering in the interview, even if you don't know the answer for the certain questions, be honest, answer to the interviewer. Now we'll be discussing about non-verbal body language. First we'll talk about body posture. In that, sit erect without leaning on the desk or slouching in the chair and don't be stiff and tense during interview. You should always make an eye contact when you speak but avoid continuous staring. And further, don't use too many hands movements and frequent change of facial expressions not in relation to what you have expressed. Further, we'll talk about dress outlook. Why all those parameters are very important? Because you will never get a second chance to make a good impression. So you should dress formal and well groomed. Wear something that make you feel comfortable. Use simple accessories like simple watch, tie, etc. And scents, perfume and aftershaves lotion should be avoided. They are also looking forward with the expected qualities of the candidate. Let's see what are the things included with the expected qualities of the candidate one by one. Effective verbal communication, fluency in English, natural delivery frequency, sentence pronunciation should be clear, and speak little more loudly or lower your voice to draw attention of the experts if there is an important point or opinion. Now we'll see why are we rejected by the committees. Vague and irrelevant answer to the questions, very fidget, little eye contact, nervous mannerisms such as playing with hair, nail biting, etc. Lack of sincerity and utter superficial remarks to impress the interviewer project work. So start working on all of those parameters to avoid rejections. Now we'll be discussing about do's and don't. So let's talk about do's first. Do take a practice run to the location where you are having the interview. If presented with the job application, do fill it out neatly, completely and accurately. Do bring extra resumes to the interviewer. Do greet the interviewer and do shake hand firmly. Do wait until you offered a chair before sitting. Do make eye contact with your interviewer. Do show enthusiasm in the position and the company. And do make sure that your good points come across to the interviewer in a factual, sincere manner. Now we'll see don't. Don't start with controversial topic. Don't ever lie. Answer question truthfully, frankly and succinctly. Don't say anything negative about former colleagues, supervisor and employers. Don't answer questions with a simple yes or no. Don't inquire about salary, vacation, bonus, retirement or other benefits until after you have received an offer. Don't bring up or discuss personal issues or family problems. And don't say your past history, hence it is available in the resume CV itself. Now let's see what you should do after interview. Thank them for calling you for the interview through letter and indicate that you look forward to hear from them. Now let's talk about interview questions. Prepare all those questions before going for an interview. Tell me about yourself. Why did you leave your previous job? What sort of job are you looking for? What appeals to you about this job? Why do you think you are the good at this job? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What do you know about this company? If you take this job, how long would you stay? And don't you think you may be too old, young and inexperienced? Do prepare answer of all those questions because those are the most common questions that you will be asked during interview. I hope that you have clear with all the cover topics in resume building techniques and interview preparations. Now we are moving forward with our next topic of personality development program, presentation skills. Now we'll discuss what is presentation. A structured, prepared and speech-based mean of communicating information or idea to a group of interested people in order to inform or persuade them. Now we'll see why presentation skills training is needed. To properly structure your presentation, to overcome your nervousness, to develop powerful body language, to deliver effective presentation, to learn what not to do during presentation, and to design and use visual aids effectively. Further, let's talk about common cause of ineffective presentation. Failure to motivate the audience, confusing structure, excessive details, and poorly designed slides. Learn from all those points and avoid doing mistakes. Now we'll look forward with steps needed to make an effective presentation. For delivering an effective presentation, we need to take the following steps like planning, preparations and delivery. First plan your presentation, then prepare your presentation and then deliver it to the audience. Now let's see how you design the look of presentation. For presentation designing, you will have to follow the KISS rule. Means keep it short and simple. Use of short words and short phrases. The 6x7 rules. Not more than 7 words per line and no more than 6 lines per slide. Now let's see how should be your body language during presentation. You should carry a smile on your face, make an eye contact, don't lock your arms, your knees should be unlocked and heads up, your walking movement should be there, you should be connected with the audience and breathe and relax. Now let's see the tips and techniques for delivery. Do not put both hands in your pocket for a long time. Speak to the audience, not to the visuals. Speak clearly and loudly enough. Circulate around the room as you speak and discuss your objectives at the beginning of the presentations. I hope that you have clear with all the cover topics in presentation skill session. Now we are moving forward with our next topic of personality development program, public speaking. Now let's understand what is public speaking. Public speaking is a process or act of performing a speech to a live audience. Now we'll see how to prepare public speech. Things that precedes writing a speech. Meditate upon the topic. Get various dimensions of the topic through our own experience, famous scholars and books, and websites discussions. So start working on all of the above things. Now we'll see how to present a public speech. Some of the factors are out of the speaker's control. However, the remaining 98% of the success will depend on how will the presenter follows the preparation, practice and performance. Now we'll discuss about do's and don'ts. So let's start with do's of the public speaking. Smile and have fun. Speak loud. Relax. Be yourself. Know your audience. Be confident. Claim attention. Wrap up your speech on time. Be flexible. Connect with your people during the presentation. Face your audience. Use more gesture and use simple and understandable language. Further, let's talk about don't of the public speaking. Don't fear. Do not rush through the presentation. Do not stick your hands in your pockets. Do not underestimate your audience. Do not point fingers. Do not hurt people's feelings. Do not dictate. Avoid unbecoming language. Avoid repetition of the words or phrase. Do not put up an aggressive face. And don't make the things which you are not sure about. I hope that you have clear with all the cover topics in public speaking session. Now we are moving forward with our next topic of personality development program, leadership qualities. So let's understand what is leadership. Leadership is the ability of superior to influence the behavior of his subordinates and persuade them to follow a particular course of action. Leadership is also known as the ability of the manager to induce subordinates to work with confidence and zeal. Further, let's talk about qualities of good leaders. A leader has got multidimensional traits in him, which makes him appealing and effective in behavior. The following are the requisites to be present in a good leader. Leader should have intelligence, emotional stability, understanding human behavior, understanding the views of others, motivating the followers, initiative and creative ability, judging ability, responsibility and decision making, guidance, personality, dignified, and leader should be honest. Now let's understand what leader should have in brief. Let's talk about intelligence first. Leader should have a high level of intelligence with sound educational and technical background. Emotional stability. A leader should be emotionally stable. He should not lose temper at any stage. Understanding human behavior. A leader should possess a deep understanding about human behavior, emotions, needs, etc. And he should be able to deal with people. Understanding the views of others. The leader should understand the views of others. If he does all the things in his way only, he may lose the support of others. Motivating the followers. It is not enough if the leader is self-motivated. He should also know how to motivate his followers. Initiative and creative ability. The leader should take the initiative because he has to take the leads to a work and then only others will follow. Judging ability. Leader should be able to judge anything. Then only the leader can anticipate the response to the action and decisions. Responsibility and decision making. A leader should lead from the front by taking the responsibilities and must be a decision maker. Guidance. Leader should be a good guide to his subordinates. He should tell and demonstrate the way of doing work. Dignified. A leader should behave with his subordinates in a dignified manner. Personality. The leader should have an attractive and pleasing personality. And honest. Leader should be honest, sincere, fair and responsible in his dealing with his subordinates. I hope that you have clear with all the cover topics in leadership quality session. Now we are moving forward with our next and last topic of personality development program, dressing attire. If your presence does not make an impact, your absence won't make a difference. So now we'll talk about a very important topic which you probably think before going to interview. For that, look at all the slides ahead and know how your complete dressing should be at the time of interview. And I can say if you work on all these things, then your job rejection will be reduced and you will have a successful personality. If you like this video, hit on like button. If you want something other than this video, do comment. And if you think that someone can learn from this video, then keep sharing.